Hello and welcome to this new series. In this series, I'm going to dive deep into exam content outline. This is a very important thing to understand. PMP exam is not based on PMBOK or any of the guide. I have recently written a book which is becoming the best seller all over the world. But you don't have to read my book or any of the books because PMP exam is not based on PMBOK. PMP exam is based on exam content outline. And in this series, we are going to dive deep into one by one each exam content outline. This series is going to dive deep into the fundamentals of knowing what does that topic means. I will show you in this first video how you can access exam content outline. It's free of cost. You don't even have to be PMI member, PMI ATP, or whatever things are there in the market. You can easily access free of cost. So let's dive deep into that and let's see how you can go. So I just open my Internet Explorer. Maybe I type Google, okay, because that's easy one. I will put PMI, PMP, ECO, exam content outline, nothing more. So the first one is a sponsored, you know how the things work. So PMP exam content outline, that's it. Okay, so we look into that. Let me close this one. Let me close this one. Okay. So PMP exam content outline was last updated in January 2021, and PMI has not made any kind of pre-information that they are going to update anything. So far, you don't have to worry anything that PMP exam is going to change in 2024. No, it is not going to change. So let's go into the exam content outline. So exam content outline has domains, task, and enablers. These three things are in the exam content outline. And then we have three domains: people, 48, the 40, if you talk about the exam, 42% of the exam is people domain, 50% of the exam is process domain, 8% of the exam is business environment. And when the exam questions will become, when the exam questions will be coming, you will not be able to tell that, okay, these questions are from people, these questions are from process, or these questions are from business environment. They all will be scenario question. 180 scenario questions will be there in the exam. Okay. If you look into the bold line, about half of the examination will represent predictive project management and the other half will represent agile or hybrid. Okay, so let's look into that, how the things work. So if I go to the exam content outline, I don't want to make things complex. That's not my cup of tea. I want to make things simpler. Domain 1, 42% people. These are the tasks. Task 1, task 2, task. We have in people domain 14 tasks. Okay. In process domain, we will have 17 tasks. Okay. In business environment, we will have 4 tasks. Okay. So I will go through one task in each video and try to dive deep into that. Okay. Now, if you have already taken the training, you don't have to worry, okay, how does that correlate into that? If you have taken PMI training, if you have taken training from me or any good trainers, these things must be covered in that. So let's have a look into that. What does task 1 says? Manage conflict. Straightforward, the question talks about manage conflict. Interpret the source and the stage of the conflict. So what does that mean? It means we need to understand the context, why the conflict is happening. Okay, let me go to my whiteboard. So it is important to understand why conflict is happening. What is the reason behind it? We know that conflict can be because of schedule priorities, conflict can be because of personality, conflict can be because of any XYZ reason. So we need to understand the real source of the conflict and work into that pattern way. Very, very critical, very important. Identify the source of the conflict. I always say that understanding the root cause of problems that help us, also known as 5 why, like what is the reason behind the problem. That is a critical thing in our PMP preparation. I want to know the root cause now, why this thing is happening, what will be the way to resolve it. So that is how you understand the context of the conflict. And then knowing the level of the conflict. There are 5 level of conflict: level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, level 5. Level 1 states that problem to be solved. Right now, team is working, and they are trying to resolve a problem. It's a very critical stage, and this is the stage I want my team to be. I want my team to be at level 1 stage, that they are discussing how to solve problem. At this stage, project manager will not interfere. He will not interfere into that. That is a level 1 stage. If the conflict is escalated to level 2, which is disagreement, now I start saying, no, this thing is not this way. Your way is wrong. This is not the way. Here, PM should interfere. If it is not handled properly, it goes to the level 3rd, which is contest, win-lose situation. Now, for me to win, you have to lose. So that's a very important stage. I want to get better at this stage, win-lose stage. Level 4 is crusade. Now, for me to win, you need to lose. I don't like here that things are becoming from contest to grouping. Like you people have always done things like that, those terminology. And level 5, it was being covered, world war. People start getting physical at this stage. We want to de-escalate the conflict from level 5 to level 4. Then how we do that? Separate them for some time, let the things cool down. That's an important thing. Here, use diplomacy, making the vision important, values of that. Here, showing why it is critical to work together. And in this way, we reach back to level 1 of the conflict. So these are 5 level of the conflicts. The question says interpret the source and stage of the conflict. Then again, we have also covered level 2, analyze the context of the conflict, like why it happened, what was the reason, things like that. Very important. Level 3, evaluate, recommend, reconcile, appropriate conflict resolution. Now here, once we have identified the level, we know that not all conflict you need to immediately handle. We need to look at that out of these conflict management strategies. Here, concern for others, concern for myself. Here I have a lose-lose situation. Here I have a win-win situation. Here, when I care more for myself, I will go for win-lose. Here I will go for lose-win. Win-win situation or win-win scenario can be we are working to solve a problem, collaborating, or even confronting towards that we can resolve the conflict. Avoiding the conflict or withdrawing the conflict is basically where we don't actively engage in resolution. We may document it, things like that. Okay. Here, I will force the situation or direct the situation. Here, I will accommodate someone opinion. We do this a lot when we are with the seniors or someone we cannot fight, or we may smooth it when something else is more important happening for us later on. That's a critical stage. We also have a compromise or reconcile where both parties give up something. This is the how you handle the conflict management. It's very important to see that even the task one is straightforward about conflict management. That- Because when we talk about the project manager's job is to understand each and every single thing about the team and working to improve that. You need to act like a servant leader throughout the project, but we need to understand each and every single nuances, how things will work, how are the things. That is one of the most important thing in conflict management, and that was the goal of domain one. Okay, so I hope that domain one is clear to you. Sorry, task one in domain one. If you have any question, any follow up you would like to say, put it in the chat box, comment box, wherever you are watching it, and I will be more than happy to answer it. And if you want to take an overview, quick overview of the PMP, you can click on this video. This will give you overview. And if you want to watch the entire PMP, there's a pathway video that you can watch it here. Do subscribe it so that I can know that you are really listening me, and do share it with your friend. I always say each one teach one is the mantra of the game. If you want to take PMP training, you know how to contact me. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, sat sri akal, good morning, good evening, good night, Nandari, and bye bye.